Fans, welcome in on a windy, and that's the key word here on this partly cloudy afternoon. It's a very windy afternoon, and that's going to have, I think, some kind of an impact here on baseball and softball as we have both going on. Here's the first pitch on the day, and it's going to be a high foul ball, and it's going to be caught over there. Great range by Kennedy Anthony as the leadoff batter for Hayesville. Michael McClure hits a pop-up over there to Anthony at shortstop. One down. That's going to bring up Raylan Taylor. And Mallory Peck is going to be on deck here for Hayesville. We'll tell you more about the Yellow Jackets as we progress through the game here this afternoon. I tell you, a big game going on in baseball this afternoon as once the varsity, it looks like the JVs are playing right now, I believe, and once the varsity guys get cranked up, that is a game for sole possession of first place in the Smoky Mountain Conference as Swain and Hayesville are tied for first place in varsity baseball. Both are undefeated in conference play. And So big game going on in baseball next door as we're here for a doubleheader in girls softball. There's another foul ball that's going to be over there on the fence. No play on that one off the bat of Raylan Taylor. The Yellow Jackets, coached by head coach Marissa Peck and assisted by Jessica McClure. As you know, our Lady Devils are coached by head coach Toby Burrell in his 24th year, assisted by Kenzie Eagleman, Amanda Carson, and Andrew Pickle. A great bunch of coaches over there in the dugout. Here's a shot right at third base, and Allie just kind of casually got her glove up there and captured that one for out number 2. So a line drive over to third base off the bat of Taylor. Mallory Peck batting now for Hayesville. Nobody on, 2 out. And the cleanup hitter, Lily McClure, is going to be on deck. Got a couple of McClures on the roster, and one of the assistant coaches is Jessica McClure. Of course, we got some great friends over in Hayesville. Head coach McClure over there in football, and his son is now a college football player, as a matter of fact, over at East Tennessee State. And good guys both ways. Here comes another big pitch. Swing and a miss. Riley Rawls getting it done here, and today could be a very special day for Riley as she could go over the 400 career strikeout mark. We're going to be tracking that, and she only needs 14 strikeouts to make it to 400. And we hope that happens here today. That pitch low and away for a ball. And I tell you, that would put her she's already third behind Sarah Davis and Shelby Parker, and that would just move her closer. Sarah Davis is second with 668, a potential reach. And there's the first strikeout of the day. Talking about strikeouts for Riley Rawls. 1, 2, 3. Nobody left on base for Hayesville. We go to the bottom of the first. Our Lady Devils will be cranking up the bats when we come back after this. Fans, welcome back. We've played one half of what could be a 14-inning contest here today, and it should be contest plural, as we're going to be playing 2 games today in softball. Hayesville and Swain playing 2 today instead of playing 1 today and 1 on Friday. And leading off for the Lady Devils here is going to be Molly Woodard, followed by Hadley Schuler and Riley Rawls hitting 1, 2, 3. As Hayesville will have a southpaw in the pitching circle here this afternoon. And the windup and the throw going to be in for a ball. So we faced a southpaw last week in Johnson of Murphy, one of the toughest pitchers in the conference, I think, along with Riley Rawls and McNabb of Hawassi Dam, all outstanding pitchers. There's a swing and a miss. But the Smoky Mountain Conference, traditionally, the teams that really win in softball, and it goes without saying, but the teams that really win are the teams with outstanding pitching. That is going to be a ball, gets by, but no harm done, as there's nobody on base here with a leadoff batter at the plate now for the Lady Devils. But facing a southpaw and a right-handed pitcher is a different look for the hitters. So if you're not used to facing a southpaw, it takes a little bit of getting used to, if you know what I mean. And the pitcher today for Hayesville is their leadoff batter, actually, Michaelyn McClure. And she is a left-hander in the circle today. And looks like we're going to get a base runner on as Molly Woodard is on with the first walk of the day. There's a shot down to second base as stealing as the throw came in, but it was just a little bit high. And good work down there by Molly Woodard, who runs really well. That's one of the reasons why she plays out in center field defensively. And now we talked about this early. You can hear that wind really howling. Pitch in for a strike. Hadley Schuler hitting now with Riley Rawls in the on-deck circle for the Lady Devils. And these Devils are hitting the ball well this season. As you can hear that wind come, there's an off-speed pitch for a called strike. We'll talk more about our Lady Devils if we can keep our information from blowing away. There's a foul ball, no play. But as a team, our Lady Devils are batting .318. As a team, Hayesville is hitting .226 with their batting average. That tells you the big difference. And our Lady Devils, of course, have played 10 games this year. Hayesville has played only 5. So that's a big difference in some of the stats we'll be talking about today. Hayesville 1-2 in conference play. They're 1-4 overall. Their only win coming against Andrews. Our Lady Devils 3-1 in conference play. Here's a hard ground ball to shortstop. Can't handle it. On to first. Not in time. So it's going to be an E6 over there as Hadley Schuler is on for the Lady Devils, of course, at second base. Molly had to hold as the ground ball came over to shortstop. And there was no play as Hadley Schuler is now down at first base. So the Lady Devils quickly with 2 people on base, nobody out, and Riley Rawls with a big bat at the plate. Riley is just having a great year hitting the ball. There's just no two ways about it. Of course, she had a great year last year, Smoky Mountain Conference Pitcher of the Year. Here is another shot that goes all the way in the left field. A scorching ground ball through the infield. Throw comes back in quickly, so everybody is going to be holding as Rawls gets a base hit. And that is actually the first base hit of the day for either team. Batting now, Kennedy Anthony with Faith Woodard on deck and Carly Tisa-Teske coming up. And it looks like we're going to have our normal courtesy runner coming in. Is going to be Jaden Smiley, who is quick. That gives Rawls a little bit of a rest, and she's going to need it today, pitching 2 games. Here's a ground ball over to second base, and the second baseman tries to tag Jaden Smiley, but dropped the ball. So now everybody is safe, and the Lady Devils are right now on the scoreboard with an E4. So a couple of errors here by Hayesville in the first inning, and the Lady Devils have a quick 1-0 lead. Faith Woodard at the plate. I tell you, this is a tough 3, 4, and 5, and 6 batting group to face. Talking about Riley Rawls, Kennedy Anthony, Faith Woodard, Carly Tisa-Teske. these are players who can hit it out of the park. And with the bases loaded, that's not good news for Hayesville. Ground ball off the bat over there of Faith Woodard. Faith, of course, the Lady Devil first baseman. Carly Tisateski on deck. Carly had the big hit of the day in that 2-0 win over Murphy on Friday, knocking in both runs with a big triple. That was a tough game. Played really well played game for both teams. Murphy and Swain had a dandy on Friday with the Lady Devils coming out of that one with a 2-0 win. Pitch in. There's a well-hit ball. It's going to be going all the way to left center field in one hop. Another run is in. Another run is in. Here comes 3 runs in and a 3 RBI double off the bat of Faith Woodard. A huge, huge hit. And now the Lady Devils are up by a score of 4-0, I believe, with Faith safely down at second base and Carla Tisateski, the batter. And again, some of these girls are just having a great year at the plate and in the field, which makes this a tough bunch. There's a ground ball foul down the third baseline off the bat of Carly. Maddie Bird is going to be on deck. But just like that, and still no out, the Lady Devils quickly up 4-0. And a 3 RBI double for Faith Woodard, really getting it done here in the bottom of the first inning. Again, a doubleheader today. Pitch high for a ball over in the boys varsity game, and it is varsity. It's not JV as I thought it might be, but the varsity contest, no score in the first inning. And again, a big game for Swain and Hayesville. Both teams tied for first place. There's a slow grounder just foul on the third base side. So Carly is going to come back and try it again. But she's getting a little word over there from first base coach Kenzie Eagleman, always doing a good job. Of course, her daughter played here at Swain. And right now, looks like Hayesville gets on the board first in the baseball game as they have a 1-0 lead in the first inning with 2 out. Again, that is baseball. Here's another shot into right center field. Going to be another base hit. And holding at third is going to be Faith Woodard, and Carly is down at first base and still no out. Runners on the corners. You know Carly is probably going to take off in a pitch or two and wind up down at second base with Faith over at third. And it looks like Carly's going to be coming out, and we're going to have a courtesy runner for the Lady Devils again. And it's going to be, this time it's going to be number 1. And so now the Lady Devils with runners on now second and third. Rolling into second base easily is going to be Mackenzie Bird. So Mackenzie coming on as a courtesy runner, now with runners again in scoring position. Still nobody out. Pitch low and away for a ball. Good eye there from Maddie Bird. And it'd be kind of cool if Maddie gets a hit. She'll knock her sister in. That's Mackenzie. Down at second base, there's a shot into left field. That's going to score 1, easily score 2. Goes all the way against the fence, and rolling into second base with a stand-up double is going to be Maddie Bird with 2 RBIs. Man, the Lady Devils are rolling here in the bottom of the first inning, now up by a score of 6-0 and still nobody out. Bella Green up to bat with Allie Stevenson on deck. So the Lady Devils, regardless, going to be batting through the lineup here in the very first inning, which does not bode well for Hayesville as we're playing again a doubleheader. And you can hear that wind blowing. It is really swirling. Here's a shot into right field, going to be in for a base hit. Rounding third and coming in to score is going to be Maddie Bird. So both the Bird sisters have scored now. And down at first base with a single and an RBI is going to be Bella Green. So good job from Bella. Allie Stevenson is going to be at the plate now, and wisely, good idea here from the Hayesville coaches to call a timeout and kind of settle down the Hayesville defense and pitcher out there. It's a tough start here for Hayesville, already down by a score of 7-0 in the first inning. As you know, there's a 10-run mercy rule. And unless the Yellow Jackets start hitting the ball, that one could very well come into play here in this first game. And again, not being critical of Hayesville, as I know we have friends in Clay County who like to follow the Yellow Jackets here on the Maroon Devils Network. But we're just trying to tell you the scenario here today. Bella Green now at first base now with still nobody out. Allie Stevenson at the plate, the Lady Devil third baseman. Down at first base, Mallory Peck. Pitch in. And, of course, Bella going to have to be careful over at first base because there's nobody at third to kind of give her a free bag at second on a steal. Pitch in. Going to be a call strike. Again, the pitcher today is Michaelin McClure, number 10. Here's a shot right back at Michaelin. And, wow, she kind of ducked, and I don't think it hit her. I think it might have actually reflected off her glove. And coming over to check on her is first baseman Mallory Peck. But, again, it looks like McClure is going to be okay. But, man, that was a shot hit right back at her off the bat of Allie Stevenson. So a tough start here for Hayesville with 3 errors in this first inning. And still nobody out top of the lineup here. Slap hitting now on the left side of the plate is going to be Molly Woodard, who got a freebie last time with a walk. And it was so impressive last week to see Johnson for Murphy and, of course, Riley Rawls for Swain going head-to-head. 2 really good pitchers. And believe it or not, in 2 games, and both pitchers pitched a complete game, there was not a single walk issued by either pitcher. And that is just, that is impressive. That is outstanding work for both those young ladies. Here's a foul ball off the bat of Molly. Hadley Schuler is going to be on deck. Riley Rawls will follow her. And we have runners at first and second, Bella Green and Allie Stevenson. The wind just kind of comes and goes. Pitch in the dirt. Nobody moves. And I tell you, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the firefighters. I know over in Polk County, it's a real bad situation over there. And when you are here in Swain County, you can see this wind. Here's a baseball that actually comes over into play on the softball field in right field. I hope they realize that it's over against the fence. I don't think it's an issue, but it is still in the area of play over here against the right field fence as a foul ball was hit from the baseball field. But no harm done. Molly staying in there. The ball gets through, and that's going to be ball 4, so everybody moves up. So Molly is now on twice with walks. As Hadley Schuler is going to be coming to bat now. Hadley hit a line drive by the shortstop last time. There is a shot into deep left field. Going to be going all the way, but just foul. Just foul down the left field line off the bat of Hadley. And Hadley is, I tell you, she might not be the, and I say this just to give her a hard time, might not be the biggest player on the field, but I tell you, she's got a lot of pop in that bat. She can hit. Make no question about it. Pitch in, missing for a ball. But last time up, Hadley hit a hard ground ball to shortstop. They couldn't handle it, and Hadley got on. Another pitch in the dirt. Everybody stays. Of course, now the bases are loaded, so everybody playing it safe as the Lady Devils have a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning and still no out. There's a ground ball to shortstop. This time they go to first base, and it's going to be, is it going to be out or is it going to be safe? The umpire was way over on the third base side, and I believe they're going to call it out. But, wow. Interesting call. Riley Rawls batting now with 1 down. That was a very close play at first base. There's a well-hit ball. It's going to be against the fence in right center field. It's going to score at least 2 runs, and Rawls rolling into second base with a stand-up double. A single and a double in 2 times, and Rawls obviously will be coming out for a courtesy runner And that is I believe is that a 3 RBI double? So a big double off the bat of Riley Rawls. One down. At the plate is going to be Kennedy Anthony, who hit a ground ball to second base last time, but they tried to tag the Lady Devil runner, and the ball popped out of the second baseman's glove over there. Pitch high for a ball, down to second base for Hayesville is Lily Chastain. She's number 8. As a matter of fact, number 8 down there at second base as well. Jaden Smiley for the Lady Devils. Over in baseball right now, 1-0, bottom of the first inning, as the Maroon Devils are at bat now with a tying run at second base. Pitch in for a strike. First base open, third base open. Smiley very quick down at second base. Foul ball out of play over on the baseball side of things. Here's a steal attempt by the Maroon Devils, and they get it done, rolling into third base. So the Maroon Devils now with a runner at third with one down. Hayesville up 1-0 in that baseball contest. That is big in the standings. Both teams are undefeated, and here's ball 4. So now Kennedy Anthony on with a base on balls. Still just one out. Faith Woodard batting. Faith had a big double last time with 3 RBIs. And a chance to get a couple more here. There's another shot, a line drive that's going to be all the way to the fence in center field. Got a runner rounding third. 2 more runs are in, and a big day for Faith Woodard with 5 RBIs already. And the Maroon Devils are just rolling with a 12-0 lead and only 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. And I'm not sure what the situation is, but looks like there's going to be a pitching change for Hayesville. And so while they do that, we're going to take a break as well and let her warm up. And then we'll be right back here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. We have a pitching change for the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. Coming in to pitch is going to be number 14, and that's the regular starting first baseman for Hayesville. Mallory Peck is now on in the pitching circle for the Hayesville Yellow Jackets. A tough day today for Michael McClure. Michael McClure, the starting pitcher for Hayesville, having a very tough start here in the first inning, down 12-0. Some of those runs were unearned, as there were, I think, 3 errors. There's Faith going on down to third on a pass ball behind the plate. So Faith now in scoring position at third base with still only one out. Coming in at first base now is going to be Danielle Anderson for Hayesville with the pitching change. Pitch high for a ball. At the plate, Carly Tisateski, big base hit. Last time up, a lot of Lady Devils have really just been pounding the ball here, as they couldn't tell if that hit Carly or if it was just a base on balls. But coming on to run is going to be a courtesy runner now, and so Carly is getting on. And coming on, looks like Mackenzie Bird again coming on to run as she's down at first. And she takes off on the first pitch, of course, with Faith over at third. They're not going to throw down to second base. So now, Lady Devils runners at second and third, one down. Maddie Bird at the plate. Pitch in for a strike. Maddie had a big hit last time with a double that knocked in 2 runs. A 2 RBI double. But wow, talking about RBIs. Faith Woodard, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. There's a swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch. But again, a good baseball game going on. They're now in the second inning, and the game is tied at 1-1 between the top 2 teams right now in the Smoky Mountain Conference varsity baseball standings. Doubleheader here in softball. We're in the first inning. Lady Devils and Yellow Jackets of Hayesville. Looking at it was Maddie let it get by for a ball. Good crowd on hand. It's really not a bad day, but the wind just won't stop. Here's a foul ball against the fence on the Lady dugout side for the Lady Devils over there. Almost got a piece of Bella Green over there. So count goes full, 3-2. One down. Pitch in. There's a high pop up, and it's going to be off the Lady Devils dugout. And I'll tell you, when the wind blows this hard, it can affect a fly ball big time in baseball and softball. Maddie comes back after another foul ball. On deck is going to be Bella Green, both already with RBIs on the day. And we're still in the first inning. There's a shot right at third base. Wow, good catch over there, and that was the starting pitcher, Michael McClure, who's now at third base, but that ball was a rocket off the bat of Maddie. So now 2 down, and Bella Green coming up. Bella got a base hit with an RBI last time. 2 down now, runners at second and third. Swing and a miss for strike 1. As again, Mallory Peck coming on, right-hander for Hayesville. And just a couple of changes on the defensive side. Over at first base is Danielle Anderson. And again, as we mentioned, at third base with a good catch there a moment ago was Michael and McClure. That ball was a shot right at her. The windup and the throw, and it's going to be getting through. Faith coming in from third base is going to score. As now the Maroon Devils have another run in, and it's 13-0. And over in baseball, it's a 2-run homer, looks like, by Hayesville, as they now have a 3-1 lead. And everybody is at home plate to greet the Yellow Jacket batter with that 2-run homer. But again, they're just getting cranked up over there. They're on the top of the second inning. But they'll be playing again at Hayesville this Friday. Foul ball. The Lady Devils and Yellow Jackets are playing a doubleheader today because in talking with some of the Hayesville friends, some of the Hayesville girls are going to be going on a trip, so they will not be able to play at Hayesville on Friday. That's why we're playing 2 today. Foul ball off the bat of Bella. So 2 games today, and we've got them both right here on the Maroon Devils Network. But again, now the Lady Devils will be hosting Tuscola here Thursday, but no game on Friday. Off-speed pitch, going to float in for a ball. Now the varsity boys are going to be at Hayesville on Friday, as the Smoky Mountain Conference, I think it's a pretty cool thing, are playing home and away with all the conference teams. Now, there has been one exception to that. I will say that. Hayesville beat Andrews earlier this year, but it's going to be counted as a non-conference game. They just played each other. A lot of noise over on the baseball diamond. Here's a ball well hit to the fence, and now Hayesville has a base runner at second base with no out and a 3-1 lead in baseball. Bella hanging in there for the Lady Devils. Allie Stevenson is going to be on deck. Then we go right back to the top of the lineup. We've almost batted around twice. There's a well-hit ball, deep left field. Left fielder going back and actually makes a good play over there for the Yellow Jackets as the Lady Devils leave leave one on base, and that's going to wind up the first inning. We go to the top of the second, 13-0. Lady Devils on top. We'll be right back. Fans, here we go. Top of the second inning for Lady Devils softball here on the Maroon Devils Network to bring you up to date in case you're just tuning in as we enter the top of the second inning. Swain up 13-0. And Hayesville's cleanup batter at the plate talking about Lily McClure. Again, a member of the well-known Hayesville family over there, McClure family, with their head coach and his son playing college football. And, of course, the assistant coach, Jessica McClure, here for Hayesville. Good folks. Nobody on, nobody out. There's an off-speed pitch down to second base, over to first base in time, and that's going to be one down. So a slow grounder and a good play down there at second. Dalen Murray, a D, not an R. And Dalen Murray batting now with one out. Kara Bauer is going to be coming up after her.
2 strikes.
And a strike in, 2 strikes now. With one down, nobody on. Hayesville looking for their first base runner of the afternoon, as the sun is really nice, but the wind is not so much. The wind has been whipping here today, and you know it's kind of crazy. We're kind of down in a hole here behind the high school buildings, and over there behind third base is a hillside, and there's a strikeout number 2 as Murray goes down. So 2 strikeouts today for Riley Rawls, who is approaching 400. She needs 14 on the day. And wow, here comes that wind again. Kara Bauer batting now with 2 out. It's actually blowing our facility around a little bit. Pitch in for a strike from Riley Rawls. When the platform you're on starts moving, you know the wind is really blowing here. It is a tough afternoon. Pitch in, strike 2 into Bauer now with 2 out and nobody on. On deck is going to be Danielle Anderson. But again, Riley Rawls having just a really good career. And there's strike three, and that's 2 strikeouts here in now 3 strikeouts in 2 innings as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Our Lady Devils at bat with a 13-0 lead. Fans, welcome back as we have Lady Devil Softball live on the Maroon Devils Network. Game 1 of a doubleheader. And right now, the Lady Devils are dominating as we go to the top of the lineup. Molly Woodard, Hadley Schuler, Riley Rawls, and then the cleanup batter, Kennedy Anthony, batting in the top 4. Off-speed pitch going to be no good. As we mentioned, Hayesville bringing on a pitcher in relief. Coming in from first base, Mallory Peck now pitching in relief of Michaelin McClure, who had a very tough first inning against the Lady Devils. Over in baseball, a quick update. 1 out in the top of the 2nd inning. Hayesville has the bases loaded and a 3-1 lead. Here's the windup and the pitch going to be high. Gets by, but nobody hurt as there's nobody on here in the top of the 2nd inning. Talking about softball, I read a really interesting stat. One of our Western North Carolina standouts, former North Buncombe star, Carlin Pickens, who played at North Buncombe. By the way, more on that. Here's a ground ball into left field. It's going to be in for a base hit. So Molly Woodard has been on all 3 times today. But talking about Carlin Pickens, who played at North Buncombe, now is at Tennessee. She's a junior. She threw the fastest pitch ever thrown in a women's college softball game yesterday for Tennessee, 78.2 miles an hour. And we talk about high school pitchers pitching 60 miles an hour. And then you look at Pickens, 78.2 miles an hour. And by the way, she was the Southeastern Conference Pitcher of the Year last year. Ground ball to third, on over to first. Going to be, looks like in time. And that's going to be out number 1, I believe, off the bat of Hadley Schuler. So now 1 down. Got a runner at second. Molly Woodard down there. Riley Rawls, the batter, with a big bat. And we talked about Riley's pitching, but Riley's hitting is just as impressive. 2 for 2 on the day, 2 RBIs with a single and a double. She's hit some out of the park, and boy, that one's well hit, and it's going to be out of the park, but foul down the left field line. If that had been inside, that would have hit the fence for sure. That's 196 feet away on the left field line. Rawls, a strong bat. Kennedy Anthony right behind her. Faith Woodard, then Carly Tisa-Teske. As we mentioned, that is a tough bunch of batters to face here on the top of this Maroon Devil lineup for any pitcher. Because those, I tell you, these girls hit it. There's another shot foul down the third base side. But talking about that and Tennessee, Ben Joyce, who played at Tennessee, actually had the fastest college baseball pitch ever thrown, 105.5 miles per hour in college baseball. And the top speed, even Major League Baseball, is 105.8 miles an hour. Another foul ball off the bat of Rawls. So talking about some Tennessee folks, they bring some heat when they throw. But a 78-mile-an-hour college softball pitch, and that's scary if you're there with a bat in your hand. Off speed, Rawls hits it right up the middle, going to be in for a base hit. And she timed that one just right. You could see Riley just hold up her bat. She started to swing, held up just enough, and popped that one right over second base for a base hit. So a good bat control there for Riley Rawls. 3 for 3 today. Kennedy Anthony has been on twice. Got an error first time. Base on ball the second time for the cleanup batter. And coming in to run again for Riley Rawls is going to be Jaden Smiley. Kind of her designated courtesy runner, if you will. But so here we go. Lady Devils up 13-0. Bottom of the second inning, with one down. Again, good crowd for baseball and softball between these two programs. Here's an attempted bunt. Heading on down to second easily is going to be Smiley rolling into second base. Kennedy Anthony, we were kind of picking on her on the postgame show the other day because she has such a great arm at shortstop. Here's an attempted bunt. That's going to be no good. And by the way, this is going to be a new batter on the lineup. That's not Kennedy, my bad. That is Ava Hoke, number 20, not number 23 that Kennedy wears. So Ava at the plate now. Make sure we get that right. An attempted bunt. That was foul. There's a swing and a miss. And I believe that's going to be out number 2. So let's see. Make sure I try to get you the right information now. Looks like the Lady Devils. That's going to be Faith Woodard still in the lineup now in the batting lineup. Off speed, going to be in for a ball. And Faith has just had an all-star kind of a day. 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. 5 of the 13 runs were knocked in off her bat. There's a ground ball to the pitcher, and they get it over to first base in time. And this time, the Yellow Jackets have a pretty good inning defensively as they get the job done. And the Yellow Jackets will be batting in the top of the third as the Lady Devils lead 13-0. We'll be right back.
Join today. By becoming a member of MDN Live, you will have access to all live broadcasts of Maroon Devils athletics for the low price of $5.99 per month. That means you will be able to watch varsity volleyball, men's soccer, and varsity football for an entire month. If you allow your subscription to continue throughout the year, you will be able to watch varsity men's and women's basketball, wrestling, women's soccer, softball, and baseball. All proceeds from this subscription service go directly to Swain Athletics to help offset the growing costs of providing multiple sporting opportunities for our student athletes. So for less than the cost of a kid's meal at your favorite fast food joint, you'll be providing critical support to our student athletes each month while enjoying countless hours of Swain County Athletics live. It's truly a win-win situation. Become a member today and do your part to help keep Swain County Athletics the best it can be.
Hey, we've played two. We go to the top of the third here at Swain County High School. Hayesville batting, and this will be the bottom of the lineup. Danielle Anderson and Lily Chastain and Brianna Patterson batting now for Hayesville. 7, 8, 9 hitters, swing and a miss. Riley Rawls on the day with 3 strikeouts. If she gets 14 today, that'll be 400 over her career, and there's a lot of games left this year. And again, she's only a junior. And attempted bunt, going to be strike. But again, Riley, the Smoky Mountain Conference Pitcher of the Year last year. Just a great matchup last week. I keep talking about this, but her and Paisley Johnson, 2 of the best in the conference, had 2 big games. There's another strikeout for Riley Rawls. That's 4 on the day as she gets Anderson. Now it's going to bring up Lily Chastain hitting for Hayesville. And that is another local name over there. The Chastains, the McClures, the Pattersons. Rawls gets the signal from Carly Tisateski behind the plate. Ground ball down to shortstop, on over to first base. And again, man, there's that arm. It looks so effortless from Kennedy Anthony when she scoops and just fires to first base. That thing is it's fast. So a ground ball to the shortstop. 2 out now. Brianna Patterson, the batter for Hayesville. And then we'll go back to the top of the lineup for the Yellow Jackets. Pitch in for a strike from Rawls. On deck will be top of the lineup and Michaelin McClure. Swing and a miss. 0-2 quickly the count now with 2 out, nobody on. As a matter of fact, on the day, Hayesville still looking for their first base runner, as Rawls has struck out 4. And we've had a pop up to shortstop, a line drive to third base, a grounder to second base, and a grounder to shortstop off the bats of Hayesville. Who swing and a miss. There's another strikeout, and I tell you what, Riley Rawls on the way to 400. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 9 batters faced here in 3 innings. We'll be back. Bottom of the third coming up. Fans, welcome back. We're in the bottom of the third inning here on the Maroon Devils Network. Our Lady Devils in control here. Off-speed pitch going to be ripped foul off the bat of Carly Tisateski. And again, we'll try to keep you abreast of any changes at the plate for the Lady Devils. We had Ava Hoke batting last inning. And again, when you're up 13-0, you know, coaches are very understanding about that. There's a high pop going to be caught out there behind the plate by the Yellow Jacket catchers. So 1 down. So the Lady Devils with a 13-0 lead. Batting now is going to be Maddie Bird. Bella Green should be on deck, followed by Allie Stevenson. Coming on to pitch, as we mentioned, Mallory Peck doing a pretty good job here after a rough start for Hayesville. There's another ground ball that's going to be getting by the shortstop into left field, and that's going to be another error down there, but Maddie Bird is going to be on at first base. Bella Green batting now. Bella's had some really good at-bats for the Lady Devils this year, but let's see if, nope, going to be a new batter at the plate. This is going to be Reese Ammons. So Reese is going to be hitting here. Here's a pop-up. Shortstop has it, and I'm not sure she was right. She threw it to second. She should have thrown it to first because because our runner left first way early as she thought that was going to drop in. So that was a bang-bang double play here in the third inning. So for the first time today, our Lady Devils scoreless here in the bottom of the third. We'll be back with more Lady Devils softball. Fans, we go to the top of the fourth inning as Hayesville will be at bat here on the first game of the scheduled doubleheader. And there is a shot, the best shot of the day off the bat of Hayesville as Michael McClure just rips one to the left center field fence. That is the first hit of the day for Hayesville with a stand-up double. A stand-up double off the bat of McClure on the first pitch here in the fourth inning. So Hayesville trying to get it rolling here after a tough first inning. But a big double all the way to the left center field fence. There's an attempted bunt by, again, Raylan Taylor. Last time up, Raylan hit the ball well, a line shot down to third base, but Allie Stevenson grabbed it for the out. There's another attempted bunt that's going to be foul as McClure trying to get down to third base. And looks like it might have hit her hand as she is over there in pain over there right now as head coach Marissa Peck comes over to check on her with assistant Jessica McClure. And again, yeah, she's over there in some pain holding her hand as we have a brief timeout. Mallory Peck is going to be on deck for Hayesville. Over in the baseball game, in case you're wondering, it's Hayesville right now on top 6-1. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, Maroon Devil boys coming into bat. And again, that's a big game for sole possession of first place. Both Hayesville and Swain 4-0 in conference play in baseball. Trying to walk it off again, Raylan Taylor. And will she be able to? She's holding her left hand, trying to shake it off, and makes it tough to to hold the bat when your hand is banged up. And looks like they brought out some ice, I believe, to maybe, can't tell, try to hold it on the left hand, but she's going to step back in. She's got the bat, and I think she's ready to go. Raylan Taylor. I tell you, these girls are tough. You talk about boys being tough. Hey, these girls are as tough as they come. And they are really competitive. So Taylor hitting from the left side, facing Riley Rawls now with a runner at second base. Swing and a miss. Peck on deck, number 3 batter. Lily McClure is going to be the number 4 hitter coming up, and I believe that's going to be, that's a strikeout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the day for Rawls. 8 more to reach 400. And that is a very good scenario coming up today. We'll keep you posted. Pitch high for a ball now to Mallory Peck, starting first baseman who came on in relief to pitch for Hayesville and has done a pretty good job. Hayesville had a rough first inning as our Lady Devils batted around and just really put the runs on the scoreboard. Swing and a miss. Down to second base now. The only hit of the day for Hayesville was that big double a moment ago by Michaelin McClure. Rawls doesn't give up many hits and even fewer walks. There's a bunt right back to the pitcher. Rawls over to first base in time, got the out, but that moved the runner McClure down to third base. So a fielder's choice there by Peck. 2 down. Lily McClure, the batter, grounded to second. Her first time up. McClure is the cleanup batter now for Hayesville. Dalen Murray is going to be on deck. But again, Hayesville with a runner at third. Their best scoring opportunity so far on the day. Ground ball foul on the first base side as Faith Woodard gets over there to get it. Talking about Faith, her and Molly, one of 3 sets of sisters on this team, and that is just incredible. Molly Woodard and Faith Woodard, of course, Carly Tisateski and Haley Tisateski, and the Bird sisters we talked about earlier, Mackenzie and Maddie. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So that is rare. It's pretty cool to have 1 set of sisters on the same team, but 3 sets of sisters. Rawls with a windup and the throw. Pitch fouled off. Runner starts. Now it's to come back at third is McClure. Wind is kind of trying to die down. We hope it does. Rawls with a windup. And there's a ground ball, and it's going to be knocked down by Stevenson. On over to first. Going to be too tall, though, and the ball is going to be getting through. So Hayesville gets their first run of the game. Good stop by Alley, but had to hurry the throw, and it sails high. So now Lily McClure on with the first RBI of the game for Hayesville, and it's going to be Dalen Murray batting now. So now Hayesville trying to make some noise with a runner at second base and 2 out. Murray struck out last time. Watches a strike 1 come in from Rawls. Rawls halfway to the 14 she needs today if she's going to make it to 400 today as we feel that wind crank up again. As we're located just outside the right field fence between the baseball and the softball fields. And that wind just roars right down this little valley. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on. 13-1, Lady Devil lead. As we're in the top of the 4th inning. Rawls, rising fastball, got her. Another strikeout. That's 8 on the day as Hayesville leaves 1 on base, and we go to the bottom of the 4th, and it's 13-1. Maroon Devils on top. We'll be right back. Fans, welcome back. As we have just been informed, that's going to wind up the first game of this doubleheader set between the Yellow Jackets and the Lady Devils. The final score, a 13-1 mercy rule, as the game is now over, and we get ready for game number 2 as head coach Toby Burrell out there getting the field ready for game number 2 as the players from both teams get ready to enjoy some food and take a break. Coach Burrell said it would be probably 20 to possibly 30 minutes between games as they get the field ready for game 2 and the players get a chance to take a break. So, big win for the Lady Devils. Stay tuned. We'll have game number 2 coming up as soon as we get started back here on the Maroon Devils Network.
Join today. By becoming a member of MDN Live, you will have access to all live broadcasts of Maroon Devils athletics for the low price of $5.99 per month. That means you will be able to watch varsity volleyball, men's soccer, and varsity football for an entire month. If you allow your subscription to continue throughout the year, you will be able to watch varsity men's and women's basketball, wrestling, women's soccer, softball, and baseball. All proceeds from this subscription service go directly to Swain Athletics to help offset the growing costs of providing multiple sporting opportunities for our student athletes. So for less than the cost of a kid's meal at your favorite fast food joint, you'll be providing critical support to our student athletes each month while enjoying countless hours of Swain County athletics live. It's truly a win-win situation. Become a member today and do your part to help keep Swain County athletics the best it can be.